Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala, peace be unto the nation of Israel, whom out of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled Israelites, scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great. We are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people, or the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, just want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barash. This is all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten and anointed Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit. He was our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, in the Paleo Hebrew, when go to utter Mashana, Kabawadim, Lahasaquanim, Shal, Gadawarakad, many double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and true shepherds of Israel, along with the like-minded Sequani, will occupy across the four corners of the earth, also pushing the sound doctrine, faith, truth, and sincerity, and shalom and salutations to Bayasha that would die the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elect men, women, and children of Israel. It's your fellow servant Malak Rayab. It's back at another edition of Global Events End Time Prophecy in the date of January 17, 2024. And I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it with this first article on the Associated Press platform. Is entitled U.S. Military Launches Another Barrage of Missiles Against Houthi Sites in Yemen. All right, so this will make the fourth attack in just a few days on behalf of U.S., the United States, the United Snakes of America, Babylon the Great Whore, America, and their NATO machine. Okay, for further carrying out their regime on behalf of this Edomite hegemony in the East. All right, and Yahweh Shaphat, pursuant to the third chapter. So it says here, the U.S. military fight another wave of ship and submarine launched missile strikes against Houthi-controlled sites Wednesday. Multiple U.S. officials said, marking the fourth time in days it has directly targeted the group in Yemen, as violence that ignited in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war continues to spill over in the Middle East. The strikes were launched from the Red Sea and hit more than a dozen sites, the officials said. The strikes followed an official announcement Wednesday that the U.S. has put the Houthis back on its list of specially designated global terrorists. The sanctions that come with the former designation are meant to sever violent extremist groups from their sources of financing. The officials spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss details that have not been made public yet. All right, so jumping down, it says, despite the strikes, including a large-scale operation Friday, carried out by U.S. and British warships and warplanes that hit more than 60 targets across Yemen, the Houthis are continuing their harassment campaign of commercial military ships. All right, because in their minds, all right, you devils have, you've been further compromised their sovereignty, including, mainly on behalf of these war provocations, through these geoeconomical, the geoeconomical aspect of these war provocations as well, including these tariffs and sanctions. All right. So what they're doing is they're retaliating against you, giving you devils a dose of your own medicine, right? Hitting you where it hurts in the pocket, man. Okay. All right, for the compromising the international trade that accounts for 12% of global trade in that area around the Suez Canal. All right, in that particular area around the Red Sea. All right. So this is why this is going to further contribute into the downfall of this American economy, because America is more of an importing corporation than an exporting corporation. All right. Relying heavily on oil and other goods and services. So it says here the latest incident occurred Wednesday, which is today, when a one-way attack drone was launched from a Houthi-controlled area in Yemen and struck the Marshall Islands flagged U.S.-owned and operated MV Genco Picardy in the Gulf of Aden. All right, so as I said here, this marks the fourth time in just days that the U.S. military has targeted the group, the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Okay, a clear ally of Iran. So this is the next article, which is entitled "U.S. Strikes Yemen Again as Rebels Attack Greek Cargo Ship." It says U.S. forces carried out fresh strikes on Yemen Tuesday. An American official said as Iran-backed Houthi rebels claimed a missile attack on a Greek-owned cargo ship in Red Sea. All right, it's another top NATO EU ally, okay, of the beast, okay, representing the European conglomerate support of America, okay, including NATO. So it says a string of Houthi attacks and retaliatory U.S. and British strikes have heightened fears of the Israel-Hamas war, flaring across the region and disrupting trade in one of the world's key maritime commercial routes. It says the U.S. conducted routes, Salakia. It says U.S. conducted self-defense strikes against 4 Houthi ballistic missiles that posed an imminent threat to merchant vessels and U.S. Navy ships. A U.S. official said, on condition of anonymity, marking at least the third such strikes in less than a week. All right, and this is actually the fourth, as I said in the previous article. All right, and this is why these militant rebels have been retaliated against a horror in NATO. So I'm going to get this first precept in 2 Ezra 15:1, and it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Meshai." All right, and my is a possessive pronoun, so this is directed towards his people of the holy nation. Okay, pursuing Deuteronomy 7:6 and so forth, the nation of Israel. Okay, the modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled bird Israelites look like the heathen. All right, because Yahweh Shemashai has always been known to speak through his prophets. All right, Jerusalem, a people before a place, by using his prophets to sound the alarm. Okay, all right, and that particular sound of the alarm that we're sounding, all right, is the sound of war as a warning, to our people in these fenced cities, pursuing Zephaniah, the first chapter. Okay, that danger's coming, man. Okay, danger's here. Okay, in the midst of civil unrest as a further result of this world collapsing geoeconomically, geopolitically, militarily, morally. Okay, and this is a warning for our people to repent. Okay, to seek refuge under Yahweh Shemashai through his name. Pursuing Proverbs 18 chapter, because he's the only refuge from what's coming, man. Because we're gonna need divine intervention. All right, when all hell completely breaks loose, including when these nukes start flying, man. Okay, so this is Hosea 12:10, and it reads, "I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets." Okay, so I'm going to look up this word similitude in Hosea 12:10 for the sake of edification. I'm going to just bring this out real quick. Yep, here's the NLT, the New Living Translation. I sent my prophets to warn you with many visions and parables. Okay, dark sayings, allegories. Okay, because the manner in which we speak is going to go over the heads of the vast majority. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the King James Version. All right, and get this word for similitude. All right, in the Strong's, this H1819 for similitudes, and it's the Hebrew word damah. Okay, meaning to imagine. Okay, or resemblance. All right, or which is a thought. Okay, so these thoughts that are being formed, okay, are thoughts predicated off of prophecy, man. And prophesy means to say before. So what we're doing is we're saying before, we're declaring what's to come. Okay, and that's destruction for the wicked through the plagues of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, and redemption from these curses on behalf of Yahweh Shemashai through his people Israel. Okay, that the curses have befallen within this temporary season. Okay, so this is why we're in a paradigm shift right now to further indicate who's going to be ruling this earth. Okay, like Yahushua said in St. Matthew 24 chapter, when our forefathers asked him, matter of fact, we're going to get that real quick. St. Matthew 24. St. Matthew 24, I believe it's in the second verse. Yeah, and it says here, and Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. All right. So the modern day Roman Empire is going to fall, just like it fell back then, is going to fall now within its existence as America. Um, Here's a point in verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And this is the end of Esau's world, pursuing 2 Peter, the third chapter, because in Ecclesiastes 1:4 it says that the earth would abide forever. Okay, so that Big Bang, Esau's stupid ass cunningly devised fables and damnable heresy like the Big Bang Theory and all this other madness, going into the world, being destroyed, and meteors destroying the dinosaurs, quote unquote dinosaurs, that you really refer to biblically as serpents. Yeah, it's all a part of the damnable heresy that this devil has imagined in his heart, because he is not a prophet of Yahweh Shemashai. He is a prophet of Baal, a modern day magistrate, a modern day magistrate of the Chaldeans. Okay, a modern day prognosticator. Okay, a damn warlock. All right, you know, because he doesn't have the gift of prophecy. Okay, because wisdom cannot dwell within a malicious soul. And that's why they hate us or rebukes him in the gate, because we have that gift. Okay, we've seen Ephesians 2 and 8 and so forth. Okay, so our forefathers here were inquiring on a sign of Yahweh's return. Okay, to bring forth the end of Esau's world. This is what they're asking him here. Verse 24. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, because there shall arise no false anointed ones, false Christs in these last days. Pursuing St. Matthew 24 and 24, including Pope Francis saying that supposedly the Lord Yahweh Shemashai permitted him to alter the Ten Commandments and permit for moles, sodomites, transformers to get married. So these are demons. Okay, TD Jakes is why TD Snakes is getting exposed, has been exposed. Creflo Dollar, all right, pimping out his congregation, okay, to use their tithing money, okay, to buy a jet, okay. So all these vain religious leaders okay, are also being exposed, because they're also false anointed ones, okay. So St. Matthew 24 and 5, for many shall claim, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. All right, verse 6. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, the end is not yet, because these end time prophecies have not fully manifested, including the mark of the beast, the next major prophecy, including why we keep hearing about these precursors of it. You know what I'm saying? Like these CBDCs, okay, the dragon juice, all right, and so forth. Okay, these various mobile device tools like Apple Pay and facial recognition and so forth that people have been using, within stores like Amazon and make transactions, okay, to complete transactions, man, by the wave of their hand, okay. So these are precursors to the next major prophecy, okay, the chip, the mark of the beast, before the last major prophecy, Armageddon, takes place, before the children of Israel are restored within their rightful place of rulership and righteousness over this earth. All right, because these heathen nations have brought war into the earth through their own carnal, wicked, lascivious, covetous aspirations. Okay, fighting over resources, including oil, goods and services, territory. Okay, St. Matthew 24 and 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, exactly what's taking place. A deadly, 4.2 earthquake in California recently, a 1.7 earthquake down here. Okay, deadly earthquakes all over the world. Okay, within a short time span. In the midst of all these prophecies mentioned in that the previous verse. Okay, because we're living in, this is a further indication living in within the last days of Esau's rulership. St. Matthew 24 and 8 says, all these are beginning of sorrows. All right. And so we are here to declare the end of you devils. Okay, because pursuing 2nd Ezra 7, doom is coming to heathen nation, including you Edomites. All right, within the midst of Yahweh Shemashah's plagues. So this is Hosea 6 and 5. And it reads, therefore have I hewed them by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as a light that goeth forth. All right, because this is why these people, collectively look at us as a burden, like we're party poopers, if you will, because this word that we have been blessed to bring forth by our power, Yahweh by Shemashai, forces people to hold themselves accountable, okay, to right their wrongs, okay. in a land that has been predicated off of Esau's wicked ideology of liberty, okay, everyone has inherited and adopted that wicked satanic ideology, which is why there's no order here, where a woman can act like a man and vice versa. The women and children are completely insubordinate within the homes of their guardians, their kings, which are they're the men in the homes. Okay, the husbands of the wives and the fathers of their children. Okay, everything's out of order here. Everything is out of course, like it says in Psalm 82:5. Okay, which is why the world walks in darkness, predicated off of what? The wine of fornication of America. Okay, the wicked covering cast, including Esau's democracy, his military industrial complex, and that's this how these people in the West feel justified in supporting Esau's mischievous madness and tyranny that he's being further exposed for, especially in the East right now. Okay, going back to see if I was going to bring out some more here in this article. So I'm going to go ahead and get the next article here. Is on Business Insider. It says U.S. airstrikes on Yemen have cut off key supply lines from Iran to the Houthis. All right. It says the U.S. and U.K. launched strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen last week. They cut off key supply lines from Iran to Yemen. Western officials told Bloomberg the U.S. and its allies have tried to stop Iran's weapons supplies to the Houthis for years. The U.S. and U.K. airstrikes have cut off key supply lines from Iran to the Houthis in Yemen. Bloomberg reported, citing Western officials. The sources who agreed to speak on condition of anonymity told the outlet that Iran has not been able to replenish Houthi rebels with weaponry via sea routes since the strikes. All right. And this is all strategic what these devils are doing. Okay. Hence why the Houthis have been retaliating, looking to compromise the international trade through the commercial shipping of these cargo ships and such in that area. Okay, and that's angering a lot of nations, okay, including China. All right, and this is going to further incite these nations. It's going to cite and trigger, emotional responses, okay, from these nations to choose a side in this last war. Okay, the whore, the great Babylon, the great whore, America and NATO, okay, or Russia and BRICS and their allies, okay. Because all these devils, all these heathen are fighting over tangible resources. All right, pursuing Habakkuk. It says here the report referred to the U.S. and U.K. strikes on January 9th and 11th. U.S. warships in the U.K.'s HMS Diamond shot down 21 drones and missiles fired towards international shipping lanes on January 9th, CENTCOM reported at the time. All right, so this is why these war escalations are intensifying because these nations fighting over resources. All right, so this is back in 2nd Ezra 15. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to read this again in verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai. Because like it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of these times when everyone else is bugging out, the vast majority marveling after this beast. You know what I'm saying? Pursuing Revelation 13 chapter. Okay. The elect are going to be settled. Okay. So within our measure of faith in the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, to avoid and manifesting, including our redemption from these curses. All right. Under second holy covenant and us receiving inheriting everlasting rest. Okay. 2nd Ezra 15:2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, right? Because the ancient holy scrolls, pursuant to Job, the 19th chapter, okay, and Deuteronomy 31-24 have been converted into paper form, okay, which is more convenient for us to carry around as opposed to those heavy stones that we would have to carry on our back. So that further confirms that, like what Yahushua said in St. John the 15th chapter, there shall be no cloak for the sin of our people. Because, like I was listening to some Benjamin brothers earlier, I'm not sure if it was GMS Trinidad, but one of the brothers, the Benjamin brothers, was saying, I believe one of the main speakers, Benjamin brother, was saying, we go out there week in and week out, man, in season, out of season. So you Jake can never say, we can never tell you how shy was. No, he's gonna tell you, no, we're not gonna tell you anything. Really, he can put you to death. If you're the 2/3, and out of that select remnant of the elect. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, what he's going to echo is, no, my men were out there. You know, depart from me, thou wicked servant. Okay, because these words that are written are faithful and true. Everything that is written is through the spirit of prophecy, the testimony of Hamashiach Yahushai, which in Revelation 19 chapter. 2 Ezra 15:3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. All right, incredulity is unbelief. Okay, in the midst of these many scoffs and scorners that should come forth these last days. Okay, bringing forth their youthful lusts. Okay, all right, of covetousness and foolish emotions and thoughts. Okay, and aspirations. Okay, of the world. Hence why they come against us, because it's a spiritual warfare. And this includes a lot of these women have been coming forth that I can be doing videos on, including this young nigga woman harlot with a cleavage and breasts exposed, talking about how she don't respect men. Okay, she don't feel the need to subdue herself to a man because men are nothing. And she's really talking about Jake. Then you had another nigga woman, older nigga woman, who knows she's a Jake, an Israelite, and she's basically advocating pro-black Israelites, that pro-black Israelite doctrine, which is folly. Okay, because the so-called indigenous peoples further fulfill the curse of Deuteronomy 28 chapter, along with the so-called blacks, the Southern Kingdom clearly. Okay, and if you don't see that, okay, it was not intended for you to see that. Like Yahushua said, blessed are your eyes that see and your ears that hear. Okay, then you got this other clown that's been harassing apostles and elders for a few years now, who's wearing a lime green hat, crying on camera like a damn bugged out demon. So these are just further examples of people being exposed for being scoffs and scorners, man, by way of incredulity. So that's another major aspect of end time prophecy as well. 2 Ezra 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And that includes you women. All right, you women are wicked as hell, man. Okay. So speaking of which, this is on eonline.com. It says influencer Mila de Jesus dead at age 35, just 3 months after wedding. Mila de Jesus, an influencer who documented her weight loss journey, has died at age 35. Her daughter shared on Instagram. The cause of death has not been revealed. Well, it was judgment. That's what the cause of death was. Because case in point, going to this report, she underwent cosmetic surgery, including a tummy tuck here. Okay, and like one of the Akim from Toronto is bringing out not too long ago, these cosmetic procedures are contrary to the laws of the Torah, on not getting anything inserted under our skin, including tattoos, including going under the knife. Okay, that's why Yahweh Shemeshai is why there's a trend that's been going on for years now on behalf of you women. Look at this shit right here. Look at this shit. Okay, you can see before and after. So clearly she went under the knife, man. Okay, she clearly went under the knife. And Salakia, for this, but it is what it is. And that's why there's been an ongoing trend of Yahweh Shemeshai putting you women to death, undergoing these cosmetic surgeries, including these BBLs, tummy tucks, and so forth. A lot of you women, including Jake women, like including this woman, another Jake woman, most likely Northern Kingdom by way of her last name, have been going to Mexico and these impoverished countries because the labor for the cosmetic procedures are cheaper, and that's been costing your lives. Okay, because like they say, you get what you pay for. So, but either way, despite the quality of what you're paying for in this aspect is wicked because of it being contrary to the righteous instruction of the word of the Lord that was given to our people, man, including women. But you women are deprived of wisdom. So that's why the 2/3 predominantly consists of you women. This is why every time we turn around, there's a Jake woman being put to death over this particular situation, man. And when that is not going to cease until Babylon the Great America is destroyed. And she's only 35 years old, extremely young. Okay. Had her whole life so-called ahead of her. Now she's in the spiritual realm. Okay. because America puts that sensationalism and instant gratification spirit. Okay, through the fast food chains, the pimping, the hoeing. Okay, um, takeout, which now it's now is considered delivery, delivery through these particular apps. You know, so this wicked carbon cast of America Babylon Gray has breeded incels and reprobates, and that's why they are considered lives of vanity, which in the second Ezra 9th chapter, because they're beasts. They're living like beasts in no order. Okay, and these women are no exception, man. Right, that's why this is what happened to this woman. All right. So back in Second Ezra 15:5, it says, "Behold, says the Lord, Yahweh by Shemeshah will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." Okay, we have about a whole bunch of plagues now, including the soul, zombie, deer disease. Okay, you got this something called disease X that's pushing out there, preparing for something that's supposedly unknown. Okay, of course, you got the sword, the famine, okay, death and destruction right behind it, including these flying swords, pursuing Isaiah 34th chapter. And we're going to get that. Isaiah 34 and 1. And it reads, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it." Okay, it says here, verse 2, "For the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh, by Shemeshah, is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter." Okay, so everything that's going on right now with the world dying by age, pursuing the second Ezra 14 chapter, is by way of Esau's wine, and that's going to further result in civil war, resulting in martial law, and then civil war is going to transition to a full-fledged war over a conflict of sovereign interests. Okay, and that's gonna bring forth a fire that's going to cleanse America of its filth. Okay, of its fornication, spiritual idolatry. Isaiah 34:3. "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Okay, and that's the armies of the heathen nations. Verse 4, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll," so I can go into the mushroom cloud as a result of the thermonuclear fission from the chemicals, okay, composed of the thermonuclear missile, okay, in which the atoms split and cause a thermonuclear reaction, which will be devastating, okay, because there's going to be 200 million thermonuclear missile warheads that will detonate through that besom of destruction, okay, of this destroying wind, fire, and radiation, okay, wasting everything in a path within America, leaving this place neither root nor branch, burnt up to a crisp, percent of Malachi, the 4th chapter. So I was on to say here, and from the top, Isaiah 34:4, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falls off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree." And here's the point of verse 5. "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my cursed judgment." Idumea is Greek for Edom, the self-proclaimed Caucasian, a white race. All right, and your army is going to be destroyed. Okay, because that's epitome of your blessing, the sword, and how you've been ruling for a little over 91% of your existence from 1776. Okay, and so your demise is going to come by way of these flying swords in the firmament in the heavens. Okay, including North Korea's missiles, that their ballistic missiles they've been testing through their satellite launching vehicles. Okay, launching these missiles, these ballistic missiles from these satellite launching vehicles within high altitudes within the air, within the firmament, the heavens. Okay, further fulfilling his prophecy here, along with Russia's missiles of similar capabilities, man, being able to reach the highest altitudes of the heavens and reach anywhere in the world within a short time span, traveling top Mach speeds. And that's how America, Babylon Great is going to be destroyed. Verse 6, "The sword of the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua had to sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea," and this is America. Okay, all right. The modern day inhabitation of Basra, is the headquarters of modern day Basra, which is the hammer of the earth, America, Babylon the Great. Okay, it's being made cut asunder, okay, by America's enemies, prophesied in Jeremiah 50th chapter. As you can see here, this is on semaphore.com. It says China warns U.S. against escalating strikes on Houthis. China is warning the U.S. against escalating its attacks on Yemen's Houthi rebels as the conflict in the Red Sea increasingly threatens both Beijing's economic and diplomatic interests. The Houthis' months-long campaign to restrict maritime traffic moving through key Middle East waterways is a particular threat to China, which is heavily reliant on the Suez Canal and Bab el-Mandeb Strait to move Chinese products to European markets. China is also more dependent than the U.S. on oil and gas imports from countries like Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iran, and Qatar. China is concerned about the escalating tension in the Red Sea and calls on relevant parties to exercise calm and restraint to prevent the conflict from escalating. Beijing's Foreign Ministry spokesman Mao Ning told reporters on Friday China calls on relevant parties to play a constructive and responsible role in keeping the Red Sea safe and stable, which serves a common interest to the international community. So I'm going to get this next precept in the book of Ecclesiastes 3:16. All right, and it reads in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and a place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. All right, under the heavens, under the firmament. So in Revelation 12:12, it says, woe to the sea. Okay, and and that would include everyone under the sea, as it mentions in that chapter, in that particular verse. Ecclesiastes 3:17. I said in mine heart, the Most High God, Yahweh, shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. And this is the time of war, like it says in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, in this very chapter towards the top. Okay. All right. And this is the time, in that time of war is going to bring about the downfall of the heathen nations. Okay. All you idolatrous heathen nations, worshiping these various sun gods and mother goddesses. Okay, indulging in wicked, dietary practices or lack thereof. Okay, eating swine and cats and dogs and all matters of wickedness. Indulging in sexual perversion. Which is why down there in Japan, sex robots are prevalent. Okay, because there's another way of pushing, that anti-procreation spirit. You see. Which was also against the laws of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, which commanded us to be fruitful, multiply. This is why women created to bear and to be our incubators and nurturers of our children, okay, and our pleasuring tools, and we would be their guardians and their kings, okay, and their counselors, okay. But you heathen nations, including the lowest of all of them, the Edomites, have you have compromised that righteous hierarchy, if you will, that righteous authority. And this is why the plagues of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, are visiting your habitations. Like it says in Psalm 74 chapter. Okay? Case in point. Psalm 74:20. For the dark place of the world are full of cruelty, roughly paraphrasing. Ecclesiastes 3:18 says, I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High God Yahweh might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Okay? Because you hear the nation living like beasts, fighting over territories that don't belong to none of you, because this world, pursuing the 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, was intended for Jake to rule. Okay, so that further confirms that you heathen nations are on borrowed time. All right, and that leads into this next precept. Okay, in Psalm 2:1, and it says here, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine the vain?" All right, and a part of those vain thoughts lodged in your heads is that you heathen nations have a shot, an opportunity to rule the world, the earth, after Esau falls, because you see the imminent fall of Esau, Edom. So this further pertains to China, the Moabites, including that damn proud gook, Xi Jinping. When you look at his facial expression, his demonic ass smirk, it just oozes pride and arrogance. That's why in Isaiah 13 chapter, Yahushua said that he's going to bring the pride of the arrogance shall cease. Roughly paraphrasing on behalf of heathen nations, man. Including all you so-called sovereign leaders of these heathen nations that think you got next, including Russia's Vladimir Putin, Iran's what's his name, can't think of his name right now. All right. And some of the names are similar, but these other kings of these other heathen nations, Ayatollah, that's his name. Call all my Yahweh Shemashai. Ayatollah is his name. Okay. Psalm 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heaven shall laugh. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai shall have them in derision. All right, because you heathen nations actually think you have a legitimate shot, an opportunity to rule this earth after Esau does, after Esau falls. Psalm 2:5. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore pleasure, and vex them in his sore displeasure. All right, and I saw displeasure through these plagues, including the ultimate plague, that great millstone, okay, of thermonuclear destruction and radiation, okay, threatening the national security of America, Babylon the Great. And this is why when Reagan made that speech at the 1987 United Nations resolution, he mentioned that he suggested that these heathen nations, and including the enemies of America, band together to fight a common enemy, common extraterrestrial enemy. Who is he talking about? He's talking about Yahushua. And this is why the information on the chariots are, quote unquote, considered declassified, or classified rather. Case in point. Okay? Because that's another can of worms that Esau cannot afford to have open, okay, to further reveal that those chariots, the so-called UFOs and UAPs, are really the angelic vehicles of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai. Surveillancing America, Babylon the Great, pursuing is Zechariah the 5th chapter, okay, as a curse over his wicked earth that was temporarily given to the hands of the wicked, pursuing Job the 9th chapter. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is going to vex you, heathen nations, through your armies in his sore displeasure. This is verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. And that's Yahushai. Okay? So that leads me to this next precept in St. John 16:33. And it reads, these things I have spoken to you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. But be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. Because he overcame the world through showing us how to conquer this flesh. Pursuing Hebrews 2:14 and so forth. Okay? Because he knew that the enemy values carnal, tangible, treasures and pleasures. So the enemy knows that, the enemy uses that to threaten the lives of people, because people have inherited and adopted Esau's ideologies, including YOLO, you only live once. See, that's why they party like it's 1999, like Prince said, But see, this is why the Lord has given the minds of the vast majority over to reprobate minds, because that's that false perception living through the flesh. That's why St. John the 6th chapter says, the spirit quickeneth, it baptizes us, and the flesh profiteth nothing. So Esau is going to come and threaten us through the flesh to take our lives. And so be it. For Yahushua said, the servant not above his Lord, not above his master. Okay, so some of us going to have to be martyrs. Like Yahushua said in St. Luke the 11th chapter, the bloodshed of the prophet shall be required in this generation. Some of us going to lose our lives, but we're gonna gain everlasting life within that sacrifice. Okay, which we offered week in and week out on the highways and hedges, pursuing Romans the 12th chapter. And this is why in the world we have tribulation, because we're under the curses, man. Like it says in Deuteronomy 28 and Luke 66. Okay, we're always in risk of being put to death, because we have no assurance of our lives, pursuing Deuteronomy 28 and 66. Okay, and this is why these rumors of wars that further escalate into full-fledged wars of no exception of the tribulation of the world. That further confirms that when the running watch this, we're going to grab that. Proverbs 29 and 2. And it reads, when the righteous in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. And we're seeing nothing but, mournings all over the world through protests, riots, cops being put to death, women being abducted, ravished, children being abducted and never seen again. Okay, random people being put to death. Okay, within people just bugged out of their minds. Okay, distressed, pursuing the prophecy in St. Luke the 21st chapter, because of the wine of America, Babylon the Great, caused people to bug out because people put their hope in this place through the wine of fornication. So now they're hopeless, like Tupac said, in that Tupac spirit. You know, you know. So that's why the multitude will perish, but the grape of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, the remnant shall be saved, shall be spared in these last days, man. So this is Habakkuk 2 and 3. Habakkuk 2 and 3. And it reads, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right. And that's the vision of the Lord, the prophecies, okay, of his will that shall be done. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All right. And so the soul is not lifted up. The soul lifted up in Esau is not upright. And this is why shameful spewing is casting down the foundations of America, Babylon the Great, okay, which is predicated off carnality and witchcraft, okay, through Esau's carnal nature, exposing him as the true brute beast, further spoken about in Ecclesiastes, the third chapter, brought out not too long ago. And this is why this is why the terrible nations are going to be given an evil heart to attack America, Babylon the Great, and their allies, pursuing Ezekiel the 28th chapter. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered into him all nations, and heaped into him all people. Shall not I take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increased that which is not his? How long? And to him that laid himself with thick clay, all right, that word there, the Hebrew word there for clay is abadi, which is debt, which is why America is over $34 trillion in debt now that cannot be paid, which is why the Fed has been cutting interest rates. Speaking of, of cuts, by way of the result of America's war provocations, American NATO's war provocations, these top, oil industries, including OPEC, are threatening to cut, to bring forth oil cuts. Okay, and a lot of these dragons of Arabia have already recently joined BRICS anyway on behalf of the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. Okay, which further confirms that the gas price is going to go up. They're going to further skyrocket, man. And then these gas prices down here in Texas, for example, could look like California prices and beyond that. Okay, hyperinflation going to be on the horizon like never before seen, because what's going on around there around the Suez Canal, which leads me back to this article. Going into China voicing their displeasure with the heavy military activity in the Red Sea area, okay, affecting Beijing's economy and their diplomatic interests, okay, because they heavily rely on the Suez Canal and the Bab el Mandeb Strait to move their Chinese products to European markets, okay. So how can they do that when these nations are further avoiding that area, but further hurting them geoeconomically? So that further confirms that China is going to eventually get involved, directly involved in this war against the whole America and NATO. It's on Newsweek, and it says China state media warns U.S. it underestimated Houthis. Chinese state-run media warned this week that the U.S. and U.K. underestimated the Houthi rebels in Yemen amid ongoing fightings in the Red Sea. And in the OPED, the state-run Global Times spoke about recent military attacks by the U.S. and the U.K. against the Houthis in the Red Sea and warned of continued retaliation. It said recent military operations against Houthi targets in Yemen were unsatisfactory. The missions failed to stop Houthis from attacking shipping, and now Houthis are targeting U.S. ships. A Houthi anti-ship ballistic missile struck a U.S.-owned and operated cargo ship on Monday. What's the point of the escalation? The Global Times wrote. This retaliation and counter-retaliation are snowballing in the Red Sea. It is now evident that the U.S. and the U.K. have underrated the military capabilities of the Houthi militants. In December, officials from the U.S., European Union, and United Nations confirmed that Houthi rebels executed several attacks in the Red Sea, including the December 3rd attacks against 3 commercial vessels in the southern Red Sea connected to 14 nations. All right, so that was a point there. So I'm going to jump over to this next article through the Associated Press entitled Yemen's Houthi rebels attack a U.S.-owned ship in the Gulf of Aden with bomb-carrying drone. All right. It says it's reported on the 16th. It says U.S.-owned ship in the Gulf of Aden, Salaki on the 17th. It says U.S.-owned ship in the Gulf of Aden came under attack Wednesday from a bomb-carrying drone launched by Yemen's Houthi rebels, officials said. The attack on a Genco Picardy represented the second in recent days, targeting vessels directly linked to America after U.S.-led strikes targeting the Houthis. It also underlined the risk to shipping in the vital waterway amid Israel's war on Hamas and the Gaza Strip. So this is big, man. So eventually, this thing is just going to spiral out of control, and they're going to shoot nukes on each other, and then the nukes are going to come over here to America, because they're going to go from targeting U.S. and NATO military bases, which is why they've been attacking these U.S. military bases in Iraq and Syria, because that's what Esau's been doing to them, targeting Iran and those areas in Syria and Iraq. So they've been returning the favor. So they're going to transition from targeting those U.S. and NATO military bases to targeting the source. All right. So it says the attack happened 70 miles southeast of Aden, where the drone smashed into the vessel, said the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, an arm of the British Navy that oversees Mideast waterways. The ship's captain reported there was a fire on board that had been extinguished, it said. All right. So all right, the Houthis say the attacks are aimed at backing Hamas and Palestinians trapped in the Gaza Strip amid Israel's war on Hamas, but they have frequently targeted vessels with tenuous or no clear links to Israel, imperiling shipping in a key route for global trade. Okay, so this is going to further affect logistics, okay, the retail industry, okay, which is why there's going to be a scarcity of goods and services and supplies in these supermarkets, man, further leading to the prophecy in 2 Ezra 6 chapter, where the storehouses shall be empty. All right. So that was the point there. So this is back in Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? So you devils, you Edomites of America and NATO are going to be booties, spoils of war to your adversaries, to your enemies, to your foes. Okay, because of what you've done to them. To in Jeremiah the 50th chapter, Yahweh Shemashah is going to allow them to do unto you. This is Habakkuk 2 and 8. It says, because thou hast spoiled nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right. That's why Psalm 55:23 says, blood and deceitful men shall not live out half their days. So you Edomites are finished, man. The longer you kick the damn can down the road with your rusty boot, okay, the more you're going to be exposed. Okay, and the harder you're going to fall. Habakkuk 2 and 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. All right. And this is your thought. And that's why Elon Musk, has been speaking about these space programs, where you dealt with the thing talking about constructing, building, dwelling places in the heavens. You out of your goddamn mind. For one, you're fortunate that you were able to have that, that satellite within the stratosphere, but there's different levels of the atmosphere that you cannot dwell within. Okay, especially beyond the Van Allen belt. Okay, an area of harmful radiation. So despite whatever astronaut suit you claim you have or actually may have, no mortal being can surpass that area. Okay. It's how we know those are angelic beings that are descending to this realm, okay, cloaking through these chariots, terrorizing you devils, we see in Zechariah the 5th chapter, as an omen or precursor or ensign as what's to happen to you, you devils, and that's destruction. Habakkuk 2 and 10, thou hast consulted shame to thy house, but cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul, for being damn covetous brute beast that you are. And that's why these nations become privy to your vile, profane nature. On behalf of you Edomites, you self-proclaimed Caucasians, the white people, you damn cave dwellers. And this is why they're going to exact vengeance upon you. Because you are the disease of the earth. Pursuant to Sirach, the 10th chapter. You contaminate every goddamn thing you touch. You plague every damn thing you touch. You compromise every damn thing that you touch. Through the water, the food, the air, the mind of the children, the minds of the women, making them reprobates. The men, collectively turning them to moles. Soy boys. That's all you have in the military. Fat, pudgy soy boys and weak, docile simps. Okay? And women and moles and transformers. So this further confirms that your military is going to be slaughtered in this last war by your enemies because of your nature. Okay? And the adoption of your nature that these people have inherited. Okay? Because you devils can have enough. And this is why, jumping down to verse 12, it says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity, sin upon sin. And that's why you devils are going to reap what you sow, like it says in Galatians the 6th chapter, and that's death. Okay? Within the foreseeable future, not the distant future. Like, despite you devils 2030, your agenda 2030, you don't have that long, faithfully speaking. We may be out here this year, out of righteous eyes. If not, it could be within this year and next year by the way he's looking, because these prophecies, these end time prophecies, is happening too quickly for this to go on really any longer than 2025 through the Spirit. Okay, but only Yahweh knows. Abba Yahweh knows when you're going to send his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, our beloved Savior and big brother, and Bishop and Shepherd of our souls, to redeem us from these curses for once for all, and destroy you devils and you other heathen for once for all. Okay? Because you've been living fat off of our downtrodden estate. Okay? This is Sirach 12 and 16. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. All right, you devils are fork tongues, like the late great Russell Means, the Gadite activist, said in the 70s. He said the white man has no soul. He said he has no spirit. Okay, because you're the devil. Like I said in Habakkuk 2 and 4, your soul is not lifted up right in you, man. And these other heathen nations becoming privy to, even your own Edomite colleagues and counterparts are becoming privy to it. Okay, Ecclesiastes, Sirach 12 and 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. That's what you devils been doing, man. So over here is why on Newsweek it says Iran foreign minister issues stern warning to U.S. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian had a stern warning for the U.S. and its allies during an interview at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Speaking to journalist Fareed Zakaria on Wednesday, Amir Abdollahian blamed the U.S. and Israel for increased hostilities by Iran-backed groups in the region. Amir Abdollahian specifically pointed to the U.S. failure to recertify, then withdraw from a joint comprehensive plan of action during President Donald Trump's administration in 2017. And as I quote him, if they talk to us, treat us respectfully, we will do the same thing, he said. But anything unconstructive, they are unfriendly, the behaviors of the U.S., we will retaliate to them. It will be in the favor of the peace and security of the world if the United States will become less hostile, will become cooperative instead of confrontational. So this is like a facetious warning slash declaration of war against America, the Great War and NATO. Because these other nations have had it with you devils, okay, and your fuckery. This is on the world news section of APnews.com. It says Iran attacks alleged militant bases in Pakistan. Islamabad says unprovoked strikes kill 2 children. So they reported. All right. So because of that, Iran recalled Slovakia. Pakistan recalled an Iranian ambassador. And I believe Pakistan is also Elam, so that's very interesting. Okay, majority of them Muslims in Pakistan are Elamites. A good number of them are Elamites, because you got the Sunni Muslims, okay, mainly on behalf of Saudi Arabia, and you got the Shia Muslims, including Iran and so forth. So anyway, it says Iran launched attacks Tuesday in Pakistan targeting what is described as bases for the militant group Jaish al-Adl, but potentially further raising tensions in the Middle East, already roiled by Israel's war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Pakistan said the strikes killed 2 children and wounded 3 others, and an assault it described as an unprovoked violation of its airspace. Confusion followed the announcement from Iran as state media reports on it soon disappeared. Well, I wonder why. However, the attack inside of nuclear-armed Pakistan by Iran threatens the relations between the 2 countries, which long have eyed each other with suspicion while maintaining diplomatic relations. The attack also follows Iranian strikes in Iraq and Syria less than a day earlier, as Tehran lashes out following a dual suicide bombing this month claimed by the Sunni militant group Islamic State that killed over 90 people. All right, so they say there. So they're saying Pakistan strongly condemns the unprovoked violation of its airspace by Iran, which resulted in death of 2 innocent children while injuring 3 girls. The statement read, "This violation of Pakistan's sovereignty is completely unacceptable. It can have serious consequences." So apparently it's reported that Iran has been attacking militant groups, particularly this particular militant group, Jaish al-Adl, that's how you say that, or pronounce the last part of it, down there in Pakistan. And that angered Pakistan. So that's going to cripple their diplomatic ties, but they're going to band together eventually. As it prophesied, 2nd Ezra 15 chapter, Fred acknowledging their common mutual enemy, which is America, Babylon the Great, on behalf of Esau, Edom. All right. This is on the Drive. It says Iran executed its farthest ballistic missile strike ever with new weapon. It says Iran uses new Khyber Shikan medium-range ballistic missile for the first time Monday when it struck what it claimed was a terrorist facility in Syria's Idlib province. The attack was one of 3 Iran carried out in 3 countries over the past 2 days. Iran also attacked what it claimed was an Israeli Mossad facility in Erbil on Monday, what it claimed were terrorist sites in an unprecedented attack in Pakistan on Tuesday. While they all seem to have their own objectives, they clearly serve as a timely demonstration of Iran's ability to execute precision missile strikes close to and far beyond its borders. So here's a little quick clip of the IRGC's longest range missile, okay, which they consider their farthest ballistic missile strike ever. It was another ensign that America is going to be destroyed. Babylon the Great, America is going to be destroyed in just 1 hour. Pushing the Revelation 18 chapter. And this is how it's going to be done. Through the miracles of the weapons of mass destruction of America's enemies. So I'm going to play this clip. All right, fair use. these flying swords prophesied in Isaiah 34 and 5, man. These nukes. All right. So so this is back in Sirach 12 and 18. He would shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance, talking about Esau. Okay. Like he has this humanitarian approach when he invades these particular areas. Okay. But yet, Iraq has demanded that America vacate the that they vacate Iraq over targeting a top militant leader down there in Baghdad, and all the hell that they've been bringing forth in the Middle East as of recently, or the so-called Middle East. Okay, down there in ancient Asia. Okay, so this is back in Hosea chapter 9. Hosea chapter 9, verse 1. And it reads, "Rejoice not, O Yasharallah, for joy as other people, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy power. Thou hast loved the reward upon every corn floor." All right, including this American dream that Esau sold our people, the same American dream that has caused these heathen nations to come over here and make a living off of the misery of Jake through these bodegas, through these different thrift stores, whatnot, where, you know what I'm saying, and these little delis, where Ishmael, Elam, Moab, and these other heathen nations sell us poison, okay? Unlawful foods, which is not food, blunt wraps, tobacco, through the Black and Milds of cigarettes, okay? Just poison, complete poison, okay? Death presented as a gift to our people, including these record contracts, and that includes these record contracts in Hollywood, which reminds me of this damn demon, Little Nas X, quote unquote, apologizing for his blasphemy, but you already fucked up. Then it was a half-assed apology, saying that in the beginning of this so-called apology, he was saying that he wasn't really apologizing. So this is why people are getting jacked up, man. Okay, for trusting in an Esau dream that's going to pass away was going to pass away like a dream. I mean, it's going to be temporary. Okay, this new world order agenda of his, man. All right, which is why he's allowing you so-called migrants to cross the border, because he has a purpose for you. The same reason why he's using a facade of humanitarianism with these other heathen nations. He's using that with our people to cause our people to drop our guards here, so our minds could be further conditioned to seek a refuge under him instead of the Most High. Okay? Case in point. I'm going to continue. Verse 2. "The floor and the winepress shall not feed them, and the new wine shall fail in her." All right, and the new wine is a symbolic of a doctrine, a lifestyle. Okay? And that's that wine of America, or the wine of fornication, of Western philosophy, diplomacy, democracy, sodomy, sexual perversion, sexual liberty, okay, feminism. It's all going to fail. Politics. See, this is part of Esau dream is going to fail. That leads me to this next article on Fox News, entitled "Texas National Guard Seizes Control of Public Park Along Border." All right, so I'm going to play this clip. Fair use.
Plus on us.
The major developments from the state of Texas. It's going on offense yet again. The Texas National Guard seizing control of a park that's been at the center of this migrant crisis. It's called Shelby Park. It sits along the Rio Grande River. It served as a landing point for illegals crossing into the U.S. for more than 2 years. This means not even the feds can patrol there. Matt Finn live in Eagle Pass to tell us how it's going. I guess this is this day one or day two, Matt? Good morning.
Essentially, day two, this all started developing yesterday, Bill, and it's a rather remarkable situation. Behind me right now is Shelby Park, the park that you were referring to. Our viewers may recognize it. Our cameras have been here for about 2 years now, showing you the mass illegal immigration that happens right here in this park. You might recall even just a few weeks ago, there was that huge surge of migrants who crossed right here. Well, now under Governor Abbott's emergency declaration, the Texas National Guard has seized control of this park and some surrounding land along the river, put up fencing and razor wire, and kicked out federal Border Patrol agents, arguing that it's the Biden administration that has perpetuated illegal crossings. So Texas is going to control this land from here on out. Our crews have seen what appears to be Texas National Guard blocking Border Patrol agents from key areas of the operation here. And senior Border Patrol agents confirmed to Fox News that BP has pulled resources to avoid a confrontation. Now, it's not quite clear if this unprecedented move by Texas is really going to help or harm illegal migration here, because it appears that ultimately when migrants arrive to this park, Texas National Guard is still going to have to turn them over for processing to Border Patrol, essentially adding an extra step. Another added layer, the mayor of Eagle Pass says he was completely caught off guard by this move. He does not agree with his park being taken over and is looking into his legal options.
This is not something that the city wanted, requested, asked for. He made it clear that this is the state and that they have the legal authority to do that. Of course, our legal team is looking into the actions taken by the states.
We will be here outside of the park over the next couple of days. We'll keep you updated on how the situation unfolds, Bill.
We're trying again. All right, Governor Abbott, there he goes. Matt Finn, thank you, live in Eagle Pass.
All right, seeing more and more decrees by Esau Edom. All right. First in Isaiah 10th chapter to further target Jake. All right. So this is why they took over that particular park. They surveillance that particular park down there in Eagle, Texas, Eagle Pass, rather, not too far away from here. All right. Further dividing the National Guard against the Border Patrol, because they're looking to further control the border and not patrol the border. Okay, by setting up blockades. Okay. Establishing a point of no going out and no coming in. So that is why they're using the aspect of national security being threatened by cybernetics on behalf of America's enemies. Okay, and allowing people to cross the border, which the majority of them are of military age. Okay, because a lot of these people that are allowing to cross the border are mercenaries in disguise on behalf of Moab and Ham, and and it's been reported that they're possibly also allowing so-called Hamas militants to cross the border. Now, it would not be far-fetched given Esau's history. Okay, case in point. You see, but this is what this devil is doing. There are a good number of Jake crossing the border are military age and are undercover mercenaries. So this is all part of the grand scheme of things. All right, because all within the road to these end time prophecies, bringing forth the chip. All right, which have been the threat of quote unquote benefits of the chip are to offer the facade of security. A lot of these dumbass people, these Babylonians, believe in Esau's rhetoric of national security being threatened by these migrants, which they're not entirely wrong. They're not entirely wrong. But the reason why I say they're not entirely wrong is because they don't understand why Esau is allowing these people to cross the border. If these people are if they're such degenerates and entitled and unworthy, why are you allowing thousands upon thousands and even millions of people to cross the border? Because the devil has a plan, man. And this information being brought out is a further threat to these devils. Because we're backing up everything, we're substantiating everything we're saying through prophecy. This is the peoplesvoice.tv. It says Ireland to begin imprisoning YouTubers who push misinformation. It says the Irish government has announced plans to begin arresting YouTubers and other online influencers who publish so-called misinformation online. The World Economic Forum controlled nation of Ireland is working to introduce the Irish Online Safety Code inspired by the UK's Online Safety Act. The new law will give authorities the power to punish online video platforms and creators that publish content that indirectly leads to harm. Reclaimthenet.org reports one of the ways such harm could be interpreted is even if a video does not contain content of the kind. Comments to it are branded as hateful. In other words, it's a platform liability for third-party content. The regulation would treat it as indissociable from user-generated videos. One of the consequences is absurd. As Free Speech Ireland notes, to protect themselves, video platforms would have to censor user content that is not even regarded as harmful under the code. Because Ireland is another top, NATO EU ally of Esau Edom. All right, so now it's not a coincidence that Sweden and Ireland and these such European nations have been pushing the same rhetoric of America, because ultimately this is coming to America. Because we are being used by Yahweh Shemashai, by Shimmer Kakadash for to tear down strongholds and assembly blocks of these Edomites. Okay, by way of the border situation, the dragon juice. Okay, the mark of the beast, this last war's war, Hollywood, and so forth. Everything is being brought to the forefront because the spirit of truth is out here, pursuing Habakkuk 2:14 and so forth. It says the rules of adoption will be enforced by a regulator known as in Irish as CNAM Media Commission. Okay, this Irish, by way of this Irish term here. Free Speech Ireland explains that CNAM has received the blessing to introduce the regulation both from the Irish government and the EU. Age verification is also baked into the plans. Here's a point. The targeted sites known as video sharing platform services include YouTube, X, and Facebook, and this particular regulation is supposed to be forced only in Ireland, all right? But it's coming to the US. That's why here it says, however, given that many large tech companies have their headquarters in Europe and Dublin, this could eventually complicate the situation and bring the same kind of censorship to the users in the US as well. And this is why, speaking of wine mentioned here in Isaiah 9:2, I'm gonna jump over to Isaiah 24:7. It says, the new wine mourneth, the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And the vine is the foundation of this wine, America, Babylon the Great, the foundation of evil, iniquity, sin upon sin, wickedness. Okay, and this is what's causing people to sigh because their vain expectations in his wickedness. Okay, the wicked covering cast the entire earth, America, Babylon the great whore. Isaiah 24:8, the mirth of tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink wine with the song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it, including these pagan idolatrous holidays that people have not been enjoying as of recently. Because this year was deader than last year, man. It gets worse and worse every year. I remember one time at the plantation years ago, this woman came up to me. She said, "It doesn't feel like Christmas, huh?" I said, "No, it doesn't." I was kind of smirking in my loud because I'm like, wow, people are noticing. Okay, the spirit of bondage of modern day Egypt, pursuing Isaiah the 19th chapter, is failing Esau. And this is why he's being exposed in this informational age. Okay, through the world's encyclopedia, through the World Wide Web, the internet. That's why Jay Rockefeller said one of their biggest regrets of creating the internet. Isaiah 24:10 says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. All right. Let's go into 2 Ezra 15:17. I mean, many shall seek to A man shall seek to go to another, flee to another city, and shall not be able to, man. Isaiah 24:11, and mainly by way of what they're doing to the border. Okay. Isaiah 24:11, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. That mirth and folly is left America. Babylon the Great, for the most part. It's only going to intensify. Verse 12 says, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. That's what we see taking place in the earth. This is Second Esdras 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, like these including this guy, Salinas, the mayor of Eagle Pass, Texas. Okay, Rolando Salinas, essentially saying he doesn't agree with what the National Guard is doing. Okay, and the National Guard is also against the Border Patrol. So that further confirms that further, tied to this precept, this prophecy here. Okay, going to the kings for people not regarding their kings nor princes, man. A lot of people going against what Biden's been saying. That's why there's a lot of division. Okay, there's a lot of people that was going against what Trump was advocating. And speaking of Trump, I'm going to get his comments on the border, because his rhetoric is going to continue to incite the hate.
The epic new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus with Galaxy AI
Like
is here. Get this epic phone on the epic network
Let's see
your
what this
business
is.
needs. Pre-order it with Verizon Business and get the S24 Plus on us.
All right, the left of.
All right, so Salakia, so Trump's rhetoric is going to further incite the hatred and disdain in the hearts of these Edomites, mainly on behalf of these right-wing extremists, to target you so-called migrants crossing the border, whether it be in southern or northern kingdom, predominantly northern kingdom. They're going to be justified in their hearts to put you to death. Okay, so what and that's going to further come by way of Trump's rhetoric, man. Nero Caesar. So Donald Trump's comments on immigration draw support and concern from Iowans, and it's going to further contribute to people not being able to flee to another city in the midst of trouble, of a civil unrest, in the face of civil unrest, famine, okay, war and destruction. All right, so fair use.
Mixed reaction to Donald Trump's. Tonight, there is mixed reaction to Donald Trump's comments on immigration. Over the weekend, he said migrants are, quote, poisoning the blood of our nation. His controversial remarks come amid a surge of migrants at the southern border. The former president doubled down on those statements while campaigning in Waterloo, Iowa this week. KCCI's Kayla James is here with what kind of impact those words could have ahead of the Iowa caucuses. Kayla.
Well, Stacey, a recent poll shows that there are some people who are very much in support of the former president's words, while others are scared of what could come from them.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done.
These are Donald Trump's initial comments made Saturday at a stop in New Hampshire.
All over the world, they're pouring into our country. Nobody's even.
He said they're poisoning the blood of our country. So he's saying he's saying that you so-called migrants are you're degenerates. You're filthy. You're unwanted. But yet you look at Esau as God. Going into the prophecy, Deuteronomy 28 and 48 on down, where it says, we would seek our enemies in want of all things, through food, water, raiment, shelter. That's how we further know. That's how we know that we further know you so-called migrants are Israelites. Okay. Because this is who you worship, man. This is who you serve. This is who you trust in. trusting in the modern day Pharaoh of modern day Egypt, running to Egypt for help, like it says in Isaiah 31:1. This is going to get you to get put. This is going to cause your demise, man. Trusting in your enemy, like it says in Sirach, never trust thy enemy. Okay, so he did years ago when he said 2017, 2018, when he said around that time frame when he said that you so-called migrants are terrorists, you're rapists, you're whatever else he said about you. Now you just say you're poisoning America. Poisoning the blood of America. First of all, America is not a nation; it's a corporation. And that's what these so-called these so-called patriotic Edomites don't understand. Because they're not meant for them to understand. Because they're beasts. They just needed someone to trigger the hatred they already naturally have for Jake. So they could be free to justify and exacting it on Jake. And that's going to happen in Jacob's trouble. All right.
Looking at him, they just come in. The crime is going to be tremendous.
His comments facing criticism from some, leading the former president to defend them Tuesday in Waterloo.
It's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way.
A recent Des Moines Register NBC Mediacom Iowa poll shows not all feel that way. The survey found 32% of likely Republican caucus goers are more likely to support Trump after he made those controversial comments.
The majority of his supporters, that's because the majority of his supporters are Edomites. Now, they conveniently left that part out. Okay? Because, first of all, media derives back to the term of witchcraft known as medium. That's why these little watered down journalists and news anchors are all puppets for the wicked elite, for carrying out their orders, their information, true misinformation. A good number of these people that voted are more likely also Israelites, coon-ass Jakes. And this is why, before I play the rest of this, I'm gonna go ahead and play this this last video. I'm going to show a little bit of this, play a little bit of this clip here.
Take over the meeting about Chicago's status as a sanctuary city. Good afternoon. I'm Anthony Ponce.
And I'm Natalie Bomke. It is the big story of the day. Explosive outbursts shutting down a council meeting.
Tempers are still flaring as we speak this afternoon. Dane Placco was in the chambers a little earlier, joins us now with the latest on this ongoing debate. Dane.
Yeah, guys, this was reminiscent of the council wars back in the 1980s. Hundreds of loud and protesters filling the city council gallery, forcing aldermen to pull the plug on a public meeting. This was a meeting of the City Council Rules Committee, which was about to take up debate over a proposal to let Chicagoans decide whether Chicago should remain a sanctuary city, welcoming to migrants, by putting that question onto a referendum on next spring's election ballot. But the meeting devolved into chaos after hundreds of protesters, mostly African Americans, packed the City Council gallery and began shouting down the aldermen. They're angry after a special City Council meeting on the migrant question was canceled last week when Mayor Brandon Johnson's floor leader, Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, tried to prevent a quorum by discouraging aldermen from entering the chamber, including a confrontation with longtime Alderwoman Emma Mitz. Well, after about a half hour, today's meeting was suspended and the crowd cleared, but not before some aldermen blamed the mayor and sanctuary city supporters of causing the chaos by trying to block the referendum.
Do you, as a resident of the city of Chicago, believe that we should remain a sanctuary city? It's a simple question.
That's why you're seeing the chaos in this city, because you're trying to silence a voice of certain people that just want to be heard.
Debate on the sanctuary city referendum will continue on Thursday when the Rules Committee continues the meeting that was suspended today. No word yet on whether any special rules or security will
Right,
be
so
in
who do you
place for that
see?
meeting.
So who was seen there really advocating, you know, the departure of the northern tribes, Judah? Because you know Jake is simple as hell, man. Our people have been collectively given over to a reprobate mind, believing in Esau's witchcraft. First of all, by you adopting Esau's hatred for your own people, whether you acknowledge that or not, on behalf of you so-called foundational Black Americans, which is Holly, okay, you know, you know what I'm saying? You're afraid of doing Esau's bidding. That's less work he has to do when you're carrying out carrying out hatred for your own people, man. Now granted, I understand the gripes of the southern tribes, mainly Judah, that are advocating the departure of so-called migrants because of our tax-paying dollars being, you know, allocated to house them and support them and so forth. But Jake don't understand the grand scheme of Esau's plot through this whole migrant surge, and that's ultimately to incite civil war. Because in Jacob's trouble, you're gonna have some bugged out Judites attacking these so-called migrants. Okay, and it's not far fetched to see vice versa. Okay, because there's some so-called migrants out there who have a hatred for Judah. So it's going to be utter pandemonium out here, just like that Judite woman had that vision where it was utter pandemonium, man. She didn't just say, you know, white versus black. It was just everyone attacking everyone. That's wicked. But it was too much for her mind to comprehend because it was just overwhelming. Okay, that's why these women come to the men seeking counsel for the meanings of these simulations and these visions, similitudes to be explained, to be deciphered. Okay, and this is why you for confirming why you women will need a man in these last days. Do you like it, understand it, believe it, accept it or not? Okay, because all hell is breaking loose out here. So I'm going to go back to 2 Ezra 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, people not going to be giving a damn. They already don't give a damn about themselves. Like I said in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, read earlier, these people are living like beasts. You know, they live to just please the flesh. Sleep with whoever they want to sleep with, sleep with whatever they want to sleep with. The same land where you can marry a tree, you can marry yourself. This place got to go, man. Okay. 2 Ezra 15 and 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. What how shall I say in St. John 16? In me you shall have peace, but in the world you shall have tribulation. That's why in 2 Ezra 15 and 4 it said the unfaithful shall die in their faithlessness, roughly paraphrasing, because they don't believe, they don't have faith in Yahweh by Shem Shai. They have a false perception of him. That supposedly, a being that supposedly just accepts all nation creeds. You know, oddly enough, supporting that satanic theme of Aleister Crowley, do as thou wilt. These people out of their minds for continuing to believe in that false perception of the Lord in 2024, and this is why they're going to die miserable deaths. Okay, being, you know, within the plagues of the Lord. Okay, including by the sword. Okay, fighting for scraps, having to fend for themselves by living within the means of Esau's wine. His Western philosophy, man. 2 Ezra 15 and 20. Behold, said the Most High God, Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. So this is why this last world's war is going to take place, for Yahweh by Shem Shai to exact vengeance on his enemies for what they've done to our people, the Israelites. 2nd Ezra 15:21, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. That said the Lord God, Yahweh. All right, so this last world's war is going to be a part of the recompense. Okay, it's going to be the recompense of the Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai against the heathen for touching the apple of his eye. Okay, through this last world's war. This is why here on MSN.com says United States warns against North Korea's weapons aid to Russia after North Korean foreign minister's visit to Moscow. Leah's foreign minister. After North Korean's foreign minister's visit to Moscow, the United States warned Wednesday against North Korea's potential provision of additional military aid to Russia for use in Ukraine as Pyongyang's top diplomat visited Moscow this weekend, an apparent sign of deepening bilateral ties. And they've already been supplying Russia with ballistic missiles to use against those NATO reinforcements down there in Ukraine. All right. So this is Newsweek. Says South Korea warns the 2024 nuclear weapons domino effect. And this was a report from a while back, further confirming that North Korea is clearly in alliance with Russia, as if America didn't have enough enemies to deal with. Now you have crazy little Kim Jong-un and his fucking psychotic, hateful ass sister, who hates America with a passion just like her brother, if not more. Echoing the same sentiments as America's other enemies, like Russia's former president Medvedev, advocating destruction of America Babylon the Great, just like Kim Jong-un has recently. So this is what Americans have to face within a foreseeable future, not the distant future. All right. So this is verse 22. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire has gone forth from his wrath and had consumed the foundation of the earth and the sinners, like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, said the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And that's the heathen and 2/3 of our people, whose name is written in the earth. Okay, and not the book of life, to be destroyed through the plagues of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So the 2nd Ezra 9:22. And it reads, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay, through this fires, these trials and tribulations, okay, that we would experience in the world, like how I mentioned, okay, that would not bring forth, that would not, that would not give us peace at that given time while we're going through this trip, while we would endure the tribulation. It was for the purpose of sharpening us and chastising us to the point of our leaven being purged from us, to be perfected in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, as his grape, his plant, his royal priesthood, okay, the apple of his eye, okay, the grape, the remnant of Israel, okay, will not be moved in these last days, as the others, the vast majority, when our hell breaks loose in the society, man. Then after the smoke clears, there should be no tears, because we're going to be ruling this earth forever, immortal in righteousness, under Hamashiach Yahushua. All right. The counselor of peace, the everlasting Father, mentioned Isaiah the 9th chapter. So I'm going to end it off on that note and praise lessons for the edifying, exhorting to the elect, and give all praises, glory, and infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Barach. Bless me with the spirit to do this video. And with that, shalom to the elect, Shabbat shalom to the elect. and on to the next one.